Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of With Love Lola with your host, me, Lola, because it's called With Love Lola. Today we have a few stories, and I can't wait to share them with you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I know a lot of you guys forward to this every week, and I truly am grateful from the bottom of my heart for watching. So let's get into today's first story. Am I wrong for not telling my fiance I didn't get her a diamond ring? Well, if she wanted a diamond ring and you didn't get it for her, then yeah. So my girlfriend, 25 female, and I, 26 male, have been together for 3 years and have been living together for most of it. I just graduated college and she's been in the workforce for a bit longer. We've been talking about marriage for a while and agreed it was time to take the next step. After a bunch of conversations, I decided to surprise her with a proposal. I went all out, super romantic, almost movie level. We both work in film. I had some industry friends help me capture the whole thing, and it turned out amazing. She loved it. We both posted it online, and everyone was commenting on how beautiful the ring was and how big the diamond looked. She almost couldn't believe it herself. Rightfully so, because it's not a diamond, it's moissanite. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm kind of on your side now. I will tell you why, but I will finish the story first. I just graduated. Duh, I was going to say that. And honestly, I couldn't afford a big diamond, but I wanted to give her something that looked nice and made her feel special. Moissanite was way more affordable and still looked beautiful, so I went with that. My intention was never to deceive her. I just figured I'd tell her later, and then things got hectic with wedding planning, and I never did. Well, we recently went to a jeweler to get custom wedding bands made, and the jeweler mentioned that her engagement ring wasn't a real diamond. She turned to me, asked if it was true, and I admitted it. She stormed out of the store and later texted me saying she felt totally betrayed. Since then, she's locked herself in the bedroom, hasn't worn the ring, and I've been sleeping on the couch. It's been a few days now and she still won't talk to me. I get that I should have told her, but I didn't think it was going to be such a huge deal. I just wanted her to have something beautiful. So am I the asshole? A few things, okay? I have a lot to say about this because I freaking hate the diamond industry. One, if you had just graduated and you just started working early on your career, she should have assumed that the ring was not a real diamond. I hate the diamond industry is a scam. Do not listen to these people. It is just what society pushes us to believe that your love is measured by what kind of ring he gets you. If the moissanite looks just as good as a diamond for a fraction of the price, why is that wrong? It's a ring. It just sits on your hand. It means absolutely nothing because America has told you that this is what you have to show your love for one another. That's not true. If he threw this sentimental grand proposal you absolutely loved and he actually put thought into it and what you would like, why does the ring matter? It's a status symbol, if anything. That's it. Did you want him to go into debt over it? Did you want him to get you an ugly ass little tiny puny little stud? You would have hated that because that's what he could have afforded. If the moissanite ring looks nice, I would take a moissanite. I do not want a real diamond ring. Future husband, if you're watching my podcast, I don't want a real diamond ring. It's worthless to me. I don't give a rat's ass about a diamond ring because, sorry, I'm like really grinding my gears right now. It's a scam. Why? And they're blood diamonds. Do you guys know how diamonds are mined? Unethically, right? Stop with this gargle about rings, okay? Sure, she's upset. Like I would have been like, oh, just tell me. If I was under the assumption that it was a real ring, I'd be like, hey, babe, like it's actually a moissanite. But okay, cool. Maybe that's why she has a reason to be a little bit upset, but not to have a whole hissy fit. Be like, well, how does this change your relationship at all? How does this change your marriage? How does this change your wedding planning? How does it? It doesn't at all. Oh, guys, we have to stop letting society get away with people, average Americans, breaking the bank for things like this. These are not meant for, this is how the rich get richer and the poor stay poor. For him to take a loan, for him to go into debt, for a ring makes absolutely no sense. You're already screwed trying to buy a house in America right now. Forget about you want a real diamond ring. Get out of here. When it means nothing, at least at home you can utilize, raise your hand. What does a ring do? It just sits on your hand. I'm getting so mad that my turban hijab is like keep coming off. My girlfriend is 5 months pregnant and it's probably not mine. We've been together for 3 years. She recently moved into my apartment. About a week after she moved in, she told me she was pregnant. I was shocked because we were always careful. She doesn't like the pill because it causes her to have terrible mood swings, but we always use protection. And we've never had any scares in regards to it breaking. The shock quickly gave way to excitement. I've always known I've wanted kids eventually. And even though this isn't the most perfect time because we are still both young, 24, I was really happy. And she seemed to be too. I definitely went overboard with preparation. My wallet definitely isn't happy with me. I turned my gaming room into a nursery. I had my dream set up. I sold a lot of it and moved the minimum I actually needed to our bedroom in the corner. I bought a cot, a car seat, bought clothes, and painted the walls in the nursery. And I've been saving and working more hours to prepare. When I said I went overboard, I mean it. I definitely got overexcited. But about a week ago, my girlfriend's best friend messaged me saying that we needed to talk urgently. She called me and told me that my girlfriend told her that she cheated on me but didn't use protection, and the times line up perfectly with her pregnancy. I obviously didn't believe her at first, but she was adamant that my girlfriend told her exactly what she just told me. She said there was no way she was keeping this from me, even if she is my girlfriend's best friend. I asked my girlfriend, and I don't want to explain the whole conversation because it's really long and personal, but she denied it and denied it, then it slipped up when I asked a question. And then she admitted it and broke down crying. I know she's pregnant and I know there's still a tiny chance it's mine, but I kicked her out. Probably shitty of me, but now she's at her parents'. We haven't spoken since, but she's been blowing up my phone. I need to speak with her eventually so she can get the rest of her stuff. But I really don't want to. She cheated on me and didn't say anything. And then she found out she was pregnant and must have known straight away it almost definitely wasn't mine. And then she continued to hide it for 5 months. She let me spend so much money on all of this stuff and get so excited, all while she knew it wasn't mine. And the only way I found out is because her friend had the decency to tell me. This is the saddest I've ever felt, ever. I lost my girlfriend and what I thought was my baby at the same time. I've been trying not to cry and just keep going, but I can't. I can't even explain how I feel right now. I haven't told anyone yet because it's so embarrassing. I did all of that shit for a kid that ain't even mine. I know I'll have to tell my family and friends eventually. I just want to tell someone. At least if I say it here, I won't be judged by the people in my life. I mean, this makes me really sad. Why would you feel judged by people in your life? You didn't do anything wrong, like absolutely nothing wrong. You know, it makes me sad because I know we hear like so many stories about like deadbeat dads and people who like abandon the mother of their children. And then you have like gems like this guy who go above and beyond, like give up their gaming setup. And gaming setups are not cheap, okay? Those are really expensive. And to go and buy all these things, and it makes me hate her so much because it's like you see him doing all this. You see him getting so overly excited and you knew there was a possibility and a very, very, very high chance that the child isn't his. And you let that go on and you wouldn't have said anything unless your friend had said something. That's what really makes me so upset. It makes me so mad. And she would have made you raise a child that wasn't yours just so that she could have a comfortable life, which is so many shades of fucked up. I don't think you did anything wrong. Absolutely nothing. If you want to do the paternity test just to have the peace of mind, I would do that. And then after that, just, you know, time will heal the wound. Try to move past it, but I don't know how. Am I wrong for telling my best friend I can't be her maid of honor because she's cheating on her fiancé? No, that's a good friend. Good job. Title really says it all. My best friend of 12 years lives in another state and has been in a relationship with her girlfriend for 5 years and recently got engaged. They're planning to get married next year and she asked me to be her maid of honor, which I previously said yes to. Over the last couple of months, she's been confiding in me that she has been cheating on her fiancé. And I don't mean one accidental thing. I mean having a full-blown, intentional, ongoing affair. I've been having many conversations on the phone with her about the situation, and she seemed to be remorseful and know that what she's doing is wrong, and has expressed many other issues with the relationship and know that she should break up with her. So I've been trying to help her get to the point of breaking up, which I know is hard to do when you've been with someone for so long. So I'm trying to have some empathy and grace for why they haven't broken up yet. However, this has been going on for so long that now we are all going to be back in our hometown for Christmas and are supposed to all hang out with our old high school friend group and our partners. I haven't seen my friend's fiance since knowing all of this, and I'm deeply uncomfortable with keeping the secret. I thought they would have broken up by now, and I didn't know I would be put in this situation. So I called my friend and told her that I love her and I'm here for her and know that she has to deal with things on her own time. But I'm not comfortable being around her and her fiance knowing what I know. She got pissed off and basically attacked me for 45 minutes and called me a terrible friend and said that she had told me those things in confidence and wouldn't have told me if she knew I felt this way. I told her that I was keeping it in confidence and that was putting me in a shitty situation, and if she wanted it to continue to be in confidence, I probably shouldn't be around them together, so she could deal with it on her own time. She made it pretty clear that she never actually intended to break up with her fiancé and still plans to marry her and never tell her about the affair. I'm quite shocked because I thought this whole time that there was not going to be a wedding and that she knew that what she was doing would end the relationship. Now it's clear that she wanted me to just keep her secret and be the maid of honor in her wedding and is convinced there's nothing wrong with what she's doing as long as her fiancé never finds out and she breaks it off with the person she's been seeing and they move on and are happy. This is so wrong and I can't be a part of it. She thinks I'm being a bad friend and this may be the end of a 12-year friendship. Am I the asshole here? Your friend is trying to make her cake and eat it too, right? Is that the saying? I don't know. Here's my thing, right? A friend is someone who's there for you, right? A good friend will tell you when you're doing something wrong, right? A close friend will leave you for it. Because once you do something like that doesn't fall correctly on your moral guidelines, I wouldn't want to be around people like that. It's important. It's okay to be around people who have different of opinions from you. But when it comes down to like your morality, like you're cheating on someone, you think it's okay that you can continue this up until your marriage if that other person doesn't find out. If the roles were reversed, hello? Would you not want to know? And you saying, hey, I don't feel comfortable knowing this information and being around you two together and being your maid of honor. Please don't put me in this situation. That's not a butt-faced thing to do. So your friend is a jerk, needs to drop her. And I hope, I'm trying to think, would you tell, if it's a really close friend you've known for 12 years and I'm the maid of honor, would I tell my best friend's fiance that she's cheating on her? I would, especially after I gave them so much time to be like, hey, you need to tell her. And she promised me she would. And all those times going by, I would tell her, to be honest. I know this would cause a lot of stuff, but I always put myself in their shoes. What if my fiance was cheating on me and someone knew and didn't tell me, I would feel hurt. That's how you have to look at things. I think that's the outlook you have to have. So sucks, but your friend's a shitty person. You don't need to be friends with her. My boyfriend asked me to marry him tonight and broke up with me when I said it wasn't the right time. My 27 female boyfriend, 44 male, asked me to marry him tonight for the second time. We've been together for 6 years. First time was approximately a year ago. Both times he was drunk and there was no ring. But I told him that he could propose with a twisty tie and I wouldn't care. Last year when he asked, we were sitting on the couch, listening to music, and out of the blue, he asked me to marry him. He went into a long speech about how much he loves me and how I'm the one. I was crying. I said yes and I was so happy. Then the next day he took it back, said he got ahead of himself and that some things needed to work out before we could get married. I was heartbroken, but I stayed because it wasn't about being married for me. It was about being with him. For context, neither of us were previously interested in marriage. I changed my mind after falling in love with him and had expressed this to him since we both discussed in the beginning it wasn't something we were interested in. He was on the fence of the idea. After being heartbroken by him taking his proposal back, I told him to not ever bring it up unless he was absolutely serious. Fast forward to now, we've had a very tough 2 months and had a serious talk earlier this week about fixing our relationship and rebuilding trust. Tonight, he drunk proposed again. No long speech this time, just asked me to marry him. I said I didn't think it was a good time for us to be getting married. He was silent for a little while before telling me we were done. It doesn't make any sense to me because last year when he said it wasn't the right time, it was okay. And I've listened to him preach through the years about how marriage isn't a bandage to try and fix your relationship. You need to work on your relationship before getting married. Now it applies to us and it doesn't count. I'm not allowed to say it if it isn't the right time, but he is. I would love to marry him in the future after working out our kinks. But doing it right now feels like forcing it and I don't think it would be enjoyable. I want to enjoy getting married to him, enjoy being newlyweds. Am I the asshole to say now wasn't the right time? I don't think any girl ever wants to be proposed to while her man is drunk. He's just on his emotions. She has a few edits that she wants to talk about. I met him when I was 20 and he was 38. We started dating a month later. Nobody groomed me. When we met, I was, it's still pretty. It's a really large age gap for that. I don't know. The grooming thing is like maybe a reach, but not really. 20 is really young and 38 is relatively experienced. And so I kind of get why people would call it that. I won't be going for someone my age. I like older men and people on my own age repulse me. Even my friends have an age gap with me. And no, I'm not talking about the ones I have through him. I'm talking about the ones I met on my own. I think if after 6 years of being together with someone, you're not ready to get married, personally, and I know people don't attack me who've taken longer than that, I don't think you're going to get married. 6 years is a long time to try to work out kinks. And if you guys can't figure it out, bye, go to the next one. It's over. 6 years is a really, really, really long time. And if you're not ready, he wasn't ready last year, drop it and just move on. It's sunk fallacy. I'd rather you waste those 6 years and just not get married to him and move on than just force a puzzle piece that isn't meant to be there and just get married for the sake of getting married. Am I wrong after breaking up with my girlfriend after realizing she will never be ready to marry me? What is that saying that they say, like, the longer you take to get off the wrong train, the longer it will be for you to get back to your destination. So get off when you can. I, 27 male, was in a relationship with Christina, 26 female, for almost 3.5 years. We met through friends after we both moved to Asheville, North Carolina for work. Things between us were easy and comfortable. I honestly thought she was the person I'd spend the rest of my life with. About 1.5 years into the relationship, I knew I wanted to propose. but I waited and wanted to get more stable financially, and I thought it was fair to wait until I was ready. After about 2.5 years, I finally bought the ring and planned a quiet, personal proposal. I chose an old train station that had been turned into an art space. We had one of our first dates there. I got down on one knee and asked her to marry me. She started tearing up and said, "I love you, but I'm not ready." She said she needed more time to feel sure about getting engaged. A full year passed. During that time, we talked more about our future. Said things like, "I can't imagine life without you," and "You're the only one I see myself with." So I thought we were getting closer to the same page. This time, I planned something more romantic. I rented a quiet cabin by the lake, a place we loved visiting in the summer. I made dinner, had music and candles, and waited for the right moment. I proposed again. She cried again and again. She said, "Not yet." Okay, one question. Are you not having a discussion with her beforehand? Like, hey, where are we relationship-wise? Like, timeline proposal. Do you want this within next year? Next year, I'm ready now, but I want to go at your speed, especially after getting denied the first time. Are you guys not talking about this? Or is something going on for her on the sidelines I have no idea about, and you talked about this and now she's just like, what's going on? This is definitely a conversation that should be taking place before you start proposing. Like, you should know that she's ready to marry you. But typically, the girls are always ready and the guy's just waiting. But this first time I've seen the opposite. I asked her why, and she said the same thing. She just wants to be sure we'll work out. I asked her, if you're still unsure after all this time, what will ever make you sure? That hurt more than the no. I told her I couldn't keep waiting forever. I said I loved her, but I wasn't going to stay in a relationship where I kept giving and waiting without knowing if she would ever say yes. She started crying harder and said, "Okay, fine, I'll marry you. Just don't leave." Love to hear that. But that made things worse. It didn't sound like love. It sounded like fear, like she was only agreeing so I wouldn't go. So I decided to leave. The next day, I started getting texts from her mom, and some of our mutual friends. Some said I was being selfish and immature and that she just needed more time, and I threw away something special. Others are staying out of it, just saying it's sad how it ended. Now I'm wondering, did I act too fast? Should I have waited longer? Or was I right to walk away when she kept saying not yet after all this time? So here's the thing, right? I don't think you're an asshole for leaving her. I don't think this is the right question to be asking. You talk about how you guys were constantly discussing their future together as a married couple. So that conversation did take place, right? The first no would be a blow to my ego for sure. The second no, I would walk away too, to be honest. Because if I'm so confident that this will work and I would move forward with you and you twice are not sure, then we're not going to be. What else can you find out? What deals do you need to know? And she's not giving you specific things that she needs for you to prove that or show that. Like, is there an incident that happened and what she's waiting for something to come from you? Like, what else could it be? Why? It's like, okay, you're not ready twice in a row. Like, I don't believe it's right to string someone along while you make up your mind, because she could still say no while he's already 100% in it. There's definitely, like, she definitely likes you or loves you, whatever, but there's something deep down that she doesn't like about you that she's hesitant on. And that's what's holding her back. That's only what I can assume. God knows what the real reason is. Would I be wrong for reporting a doctor who was indicating that I was cheating? Little context before I get into it. I, 27 female, am with my partner, 26 male, for 3 years. We have a great relationship, and from the day we met, we never saw or dated anyone else. I had more fun past than my partner, but always got checked to be safe. Important context. I got myself checked right before I met my partner and was all clear. Fast forward to October, I had just given birth via emergency C-section to our beautiful baby boy. This was after a failed induction, 3 sweeps, bags burst, 48 hours in labor, and a hormone drip. I was in the depths of postpartum depression. Not only the PPD, but my surgery went wrong, causing nerve damage in my arm and not being able to use it for 8 weeks after surgery. Thankfully, the feeling is back. My son and I were in the hospital for 6 days after his birth. We went home and we were scared but excited. On the 10th day of his life, I noticed his eyes were puffy and a little gloopy and decided to call on the doctor as it was Sunday late evening. He asked us to come down, which we did. This is where it all went wrong. The doctor asked how old my son was. I replied, 10 days. He said, yes, I already know what it is, without looking at him. He gave me this really long terminology that sounded like the furniture would move if you said it out loud. He told me to look it up when I'm home alone. I live with my partner and our son. I looked it up in the doctor's office and nearly died there and then. It basically said conjunctivitis due to chlamydia. When I tell you I looked at him like he had 17 heads, this is actually common as some forms of the STDs don't show up in women. I started bawling. I said then I don't have that as I tested before my partner and I've been with nobody else since. He then looked at me and said, are you sure? If I wasn't crying so hard, only crying so hard because I thought I harmed my son, I genuinely would have slapped him. He looked at my partner with sympathy. I then said I did not have a vaginal birth, so how could that have happened? This specific condition that is common, bearing in mind, has to be via vaginal birth. He fobbed off what I said. He basically blamed and shamed me for absolutely nothing. We left there and I got a home test kit from the hospital. And ironically, would you believe it, I was clean, as was my partner. Then when we went to my child's actual pediatrician, he explained that was impossible as I was birthed via C-section. He had conjunctivitis, but bacterial. I wanted to call back and give him a piece of my mind, calling him ignorant and inconsiderate to people and new mothers who already have a lot going on. My partner said I would be a bit of an asshole if I rang back to give him a lot of the stick when I could just move on, whereas I think he needs to realize he has to listen and not shame people, even if this does happen, never mind if it doesn't. Would I be the asshole to actually report him to the board for his attitude? 100% report his ass. What the hell? Who do you think you are? Even if you had it, right? Even if you had chlamydia, he's absolutely no right to question your fidelity or anything like that. Be like, are you Sharon? Who are you? Treat my child. I'm not asking for your advice on my past. Like, this has pissed me off, dude. Especially, like, I wonder if your doctor was a male doctor, because, like, PPD is real. Postpartum depression is very, very real. And when people are going through that, and for someone to question your like sexual history and your faithfulness to your spouse after you just had a kid, that would like trigger a lot of people. You don't have to report him for his attitude. Report him for breaking regulation and thinking that you are doing something that you weren't. All right, you guys, it's time for the final story of today's episode. And this was taken directly from one of the posts from my subreddit. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to WithLoveLola. And if you have a story that you want me to read on the pod, make sure you guys post it there for me to share. I accidentally got a stranger evicted, and I still feel guilty. Hey Lola, so this happened about 6 months ago, and it still keeps me up at night. I, 26 female, had just moved into a new apartment complex. The place was cute, a little run down, but it had a real community feel, who would always be hanging out around the pool or in the parking lot. He wasn't creepy or anything, just super chatty, always offering to help with groceries, asking how my day was, small stuff like that. One day, I'm struggling with a giant Amazon package, and he offers to help carry it upstairs. Super nice, right? Later that week, I casually mentioned him to the leasing office when I was picking up a package. I said something like, you guys have the friendliest maintenance workers. That guy by the pool is so helpful. The lady at the desk got a weird look on her face and said, we don't have any male maintenance workers. My stomach dropped. She immediately started asking me questions. What he looked like when I saw him, if he knew my apartment number. Turns out, this dude didn't even live there. He had been squatting in an empty unit that was supposed to be getting renovated. He literally pretended to live there, made friends with the neighbors, used the pool, the gym, the laundry room, all of it, for months. Management called the cops. He was arrested that night. Apparently he had nowhere to go, just blended in. I feel so bad because he honestly never made me feel unsafe. And if I hadn't said anything, he probably would have kept living there unnoticed. My friends say I did the right thing, but sometimes I wonder if I ruined a guy's last shot of stability just because I didn't mind my business. So Lola, am I the asshole for accidentally getting a homeless man evicted from an empty apartment? Let me say this, it's not your fault. It was truly like a genuine accident. I know you feel bad because it's like if the apartment's not being used and he's a kind and like respectable guy and cleaning it up, like, you know, like I know it's not ethically okay, but morally it's like, hey, you guys make so much money off of all of our rent. You guys aren't using the apartment anyway. He's there and like let him just live his life. It's a genuine mistake. There's nothing you could really have done about it. Honestly, I would probably connect with him after the fact and be like, you know, if you need help anyway, or if I can help you get a job or get you on your feet, maybe that will help ease the guilt. But I don't think you did anything wrong, like morally or ethically. I feel like if you had known, I wonder how I would feel like if you had known you had a squatter in an apartment close to you, would you guys snitch? I probably would if it was like a sketchy person. But if this person's minding their own business, like kind of like what he does and wasn't doing anything, then I probably wouldn't have cared. Because if the apartment was needed and in use, they would have caught it eventually. It didn't have to come from me. You know, it's not money out of my pocket. Why do I care? But I get why you feel the way that you feel. There's not much you can do about the honest mistake. Not a mistake, it's a unfortunate situation, but what can you do? Nothing. But thank you so much for writing in. I really do appreciate it. And that's a wrap on today's episode. If you laughed, cried, or side-eyed along the way, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share the love. Got a story you want to hear on the show? Send it in. This space is for all the messy, complicated, beautiful, gray areas of life. Until next time, be kind, stay curious, and as always, with love, Lola. Bye.